Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna check in real quick. Want to make sure the live show is actually started. As you guys know, I've moved some things around here. I'm back in Kabul. Everything is I've moved some things around here. Everything is coming together. Let me pause the live stream here. Sorry, I've been down and out. Let me also change the channel here. Get us over to some football. We got. Look at all the bold-faced names. I'm gonna take this off. Famous names, household names. Just wanted to go over some things for the Cowboys this week. Also, check in with you guys. Man, I apologize. I've been off the map. The reason I've been off the map is I traveled the damn map over the last 2 3 days. I've been so damn busy traveling and getting in here and getting organized and then trying to get my stuff set up to do the shows again here. I really appreciate you guys hanging in with me there. What I wanted to go over today was the actually, we got the Philly Atlanta game coming on here in a couple hours, so I did want to review that. I wanted to talk about some things on that game. We don't play Philly until week 9 and week 13, so we got Philly late in the season, which I think is good for us. And I think that's good for us because we need some time to let Ezekiel Elliott, mesh with this line. Connor Williams is new. That'll give us a chance to get Travis Frederick back. I think Looney has played well so far. They're saying he's done a great he actually has done a great job keeping up with the linemen. Uh, he's had in preseason he had 30 snaps and he had one rush, one hurry on Dak Prescott and one penalty. So I think he's played well. We'll see how it goes. Looking maybe game 3 or 4, hopefully maybe game 5 to have Travis Frederick back. That'll just give us more depth. We'll move him up, move Looney back behind him. So I hope the line does okay, guys. Anyways, I wanted to go over the thing with this situation with the kicker. As everyone knows, it was a big surprise. But if you actually look at the numbers that this guy's put out, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing, fan 2421? Michael Rodriguez, appreciate you guys. Oh, there we go. Stevie Mack is in the house, bro. How you doing, guys? Thank you very much, man, for joining in. I wanted to say thanks a lot. This is going to be great for me to keep me busy during the season, going from Sunday to Sunday, waiting on a game, or from game to game. I try to watch the other games during the week a little bit. What we got on the back screen here is AFN Armed Forces Network, which is actually stationed out of California, but they do the yeah. I'm ready for Sunday, man. But these guys they do the military television for us, so we can pick up reception overseas. It's pretty cool because we get all the pay-per-views for free, all the boxing, all the the MMA stuff, all of that stuff. The only thing is, as far as football, they have 3 channels they run football on, so they only show 3 games during the during Sunday or Monday. We always get the Monday night, the Thursday night games, so that's why that game will be on tonight. But they do kind of spread it around, but they do show quite a bit of Cowboy football. They do have a favoritism towards the Cowboys. They actually let the military kind of pick out the games. They do like a poll every week, and whoever wins that poll, they show that game as the prime game. So, anyways, I should be able to get most of the Cowboy games live. If not, I'll be watching off of a live stream thing called Roja Directa. It's like a Spanish thing. I hope I said that right. Um, but anyways, I'll show you guys that website in case you're in a situation where you can't watch the game. Roja Directa really works good, and I can catch the games there live when they're not on AFN, and you guys can do that as well. If they're not showing the Cowboys game in your area, I can hook you up with a website that shows it. And as long as you got a pretty good internet signal, you'll be okay. Still enough for what you guys do over there. Hey, thank you guys. No problem, man. I'm not in the military anymore. I do work as a contractor, but my job uh, works directly with the military. I'm the fuel coordinator for pretty much Afghanistan, we coordinate fuel. I'm at the airport now. We also have 4 airports, civilian airports that I run. And we give fuel to Emirates, Turkish Airlines, all the major airlines, and that's basically what I do over here. I coordinate fuel movement and getting fuel into the country for the military, and then it ships out to the other companies. But it's a good job. I like it. Yeah, contractors save the military. Truthfully, guys, they do save the military a lot of money, and what they do, they give a lot of continuity. But that's the biggest thing I've done over here. I've given the military continuity on how to order fuel, where to get fuel from, the best countries to get it from, importing fuel, and that at times you have to have that. You can't have guys that come here a year. You can't learn that job in a year. And nothing against the military guys. Those guys put it up. They put it up. They put it out every month. So I wanted to say thanks to all the military guys out there as well. Go Cowboys. We're about to watch this Philly game tonight. We have Philly game week 9 and week 13, and then we have Atlanta week 10. So the game tonight is important, but as you guys know, by week 9 and week 13, a lot of the rosters will be different from injuries, and you're learning the roster. The Cowboys are a big mystery right now. What's up, James? How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining the show. Falcons have a high power offense. They added in off season. Shakespeare play calling has to be better. Personnel, he had them out of rhythm last season. Yeah, towards the end of the season, especially. I feel you. That's what we got to get. That's what I'm concerned about for us is our play calling. I think we do need to push the deep pass a little bit. Um, and hey, what's up? What's up, Sheffield? How you doing, brother? Thank you guys for joining the channel. I just hit 800. I'm at 800 subscribers right now, which I think is really cool. I do want to keep it to the point where I can correspond with all of you guys. I know there's people that like to watch the show, and then there's people that like to talk and give their opinion, and we can throw our opinions back and forth off of each other. Yeah, let's go Falcons. I'm with you, Stevie Mac, on that one. Uh, so we're gonna see how exactly we're gonna see how Philly is capable of handling the Eagles' pass rush. You guys know we got Carolina this week, and Carolina they're having injury issues on their line as well. So we'll see how that goes. Their offensive line, that is. Hopefully, we can run the ball. I think it is going to be a little bit difficult to run the ball against Carolina, and the main reason is Ezekiel Elliott hasn't taken a snap yet this year, and it does take you build a rapport with those offensive linemen. We got Connor Williams up there, which is new. Looney didn't play a lot last year, hardly at all. So it's going to be a little difficult to get that rhythm going with the offensive line. Hopefully, they're just so. Hopefully, they are so powerful and just overbearing that Ezekiel Elliott has a good game. I'm really hoping he can at least push for somewhere between 90 and 100 yards. That would be good if we could start the season off that way. I think all teams are going to be a little rusty, so I think starting off, if he can hit that 100-yard mark, that C note, if he can get a C note on the ground, we'll be happy, guys. But I did want to say, like I said earlier, apologize for being off for a day and a half now. I almost slept that whole time, and the Earl Thomas thing, man, that put me in the basement, guys. There's still a possibility the Earl Thomas thing will go down. And I agree with you, Scoggins. Yeah, Zeke's only one player. We're going to need some help from these receivers and the tight end core. We're going to have someone that Dak can rely on. So hopefully we'll see that this season as well. And that's going to take some time to build a rapport with the new receivers. We really are a mystery team right now. We just have uh, so many things going on. Yeah, I'll get you guys my APO. What I'll do is I'll put it in my I'll put it in my profile thing there. When you go to my page, it'll be on there. As far as me going to the military bases, I don't travel that much. I have a guy that kind of helps us pick up mail. It's really dangerous here. For me to pick up mail, I got to drive into the city, drive through the city, and go to the military base. So I don't do that too much. I actually live on the civilian airport side. So we'll see. Hey, Hawk, man, come on, man. I don't have the hair. I don't have that swooping hairline to be president. But anyways, guys, I want to go over the kicker thing real quick. Enough about Carolina. Enough about the Falcons in Atlanta. I know some other guys have put out some information about Mayer, Meyer, however you say it, Murr. Anyways, I have some stats on the guy. I've compared his stats with Dan Bailey's. They're very comparable stats. His stats are really close. And the thing is, he gives us an option as a backup punter. If we have problems with Chris Jones, this guy has no problem stepping in. He was a full time punter slash kicker with the Canadian Football League, and his punting statistics are very impressive. I mean, really, I think Chris Jones is probably, a top three punter in the NFL, and Chris Jones plays amazing. The thing is, this guy, he has just as good a foot as Chris Jones does. So he gives us some versatility. If something happens with Chris Jones, we have an issue. He last year I think, or the year before, he had a small concussion situation on a tackle, or almost did. But in any injuries we have to Chris Jones, uh, this guy can step in, Brett Maher, and punt the ball well. Um, yeah, and right, I didn't know what his salary was. I've been knocked out for a day and a half. I told you guys I've been off the map because I just traveled the whole damn map to get here. Usually my flight's quite a bit easier, and I get here really quick. I get a lot of rest. I stop in Istanbul for a day or so. This time I was only there for 8 hours. And you get on an airplane for 14 hours and then have a 3 hour layover and then another 3 hours and have another 8 hour layover. It's not enough time to get any rest. So I just got about a day and a half of sleep. And the other thing that put me to bed was this Earl Thomas thing. Like I said, guys, man, I don't know what they asked for. Has there been any updates on what the Seattle Seahawks actually wanted? You guys know we offered them a second round, and I'm not sure if we offered a second round and some change, because that's what I heard they kind of wanted before. But I would think the Cowboys would go for a second round and some change. Is that what they wanted? They want a one. Yeah, that's man, that's kind of steep. Um, you know, yeah, that's a little too much. And then on top of that, the fact we have to pay Earl Thomas when he gets here. So not only are we giving up a first round pick, we're giving him up about, I would say at the minimum, probably 12 million a year. Uh, for 3 years, 36 million, maybe 30 million of it guaranteed. If you want to hook him up and make it a little better, uh, yeah, yeah. That I knew we offered a second round. It was so crazy that morning that they were on the undisputed show. They were stating that we offered a third round and Seattle wanted a second. They were really late on that because, as you guys know, I was the first one to post anything concerning the Earl Thomas returning to practice. I posted that about 45 minutes. I posted it, and that's why I like to go live, guys. When I go live show, because as soon as I see news, I can verify it, go live. I don't have to record the video. It takes 15, 20 minutes to upload it, so you're a little behind. I try to go live so I can get the news out really quick. And that's why I say if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification button, when I go live, if it's something to do with a news breaking story, I'm going to put it out like 20 seconds after I hear something. Now, I won't put it out unless I get it from a reliable source like Ian Rappaport, some of the other guys that report directly on the Cowboys, or the Cowboys website. But you can research that really quick and if I get two or three sources saying the same thing, I'm going to go live and put the news out. So I expect the Cowboys to keep running two tight end stats. Yeah, and hopefully that will get Rico Gathers in more if we run the two tight end set. Because as you guys know, the outside tight end is kind of more usually there to run receiving type routes, pass routes. So if we don't get by yeah, that's exactly right, Robert. If we don't have him by October 6th, I think is the deadline. It's the beginning of October, I know. He'll be a free agent next year, so it's just we're just gonna have to maybe suffer through this year. Eric Reed, I think, is still out there. Unless he got signed in the last 48 hours, I haven't seen anything. So we'll see. Let me go over this kicking thing real quick. That's why I started the video. Um, and I appreciate you guys jumping in, joining the show, and I do something for you guys that have been here a while. If I see you jump in and say something that we were talking about earlier in the conversation, I'll go back and repeat myself. And so I do a lot of repetitive stuff, and I apologize for you guys that watch the video later. If you watch the video later, what'll happen is you'll hear me say something two or three times. I'll say it 5 minutes into the video, 15 minutes into the video, and 30 minutes into the video. And I do that because, the channel was small in the beginning. It's grown really, really fast. And if I see like Lincoln jump in, Lincoln Hulk, or Stevie Mack, or Robert Peterson, or some of you guys, Bubble Mikado, I know you've been here for a while too. If I see you guys jump in and mention something like, uh, Seattle wanted a second round pick, and we had discussed earlier, or we posted earlier that no, they wanted more than that. I'll repeat myself. So I'm having people come into the video and say, hey, your videos are too long. You say the same thing over and over. So I apologize, guys. When I start a video, I'm going to move on. I might go back and repeat something slightly, but I like to go live because I get interaction with you guys, and I get feedback, and actually you guys can correct me on some of the names because, as you guys know, I chop names up. I used to really be really good at remembering names, but my job entails so many numbers now. I can remember numbers, but I'll throw the name way off. I was calling Eric Reed. I was calling him Ed Reed, probably through two videos, and it's just because Ed Reed is such a popular name back, when the Baltimore Ravens had their team rolling, and he was a outstanding safety. I'd rather have Ed Reed than than Eric Reed. But anyways, guys, um, yeah, I think I'm hoping the Earl Thomas thing will still work out. I think I know it will. We will have him next year. That's almost a guarantee, unless Seattle tries to trade him, and they could. As you guys remember, that happened to and now I'm trying to remember his name, for the San Antonio Spurs, the power forward that they had there. Uh, Man, I know his name well. It's just, but Seattle, not Seattle, San Antonio traded him right before. He thought he was going to the Lakers. He was going to get out. Yeah, uh, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, that's him. Kawhi Leonard. That trade really pissed him off, and he had 1 year left on his contract. San Antonio had the rights to him. They shifted him off, and they shifted him somewhere he didn't want to go. So that could happen to uh, to Earl Thomas as well. But anyways, guys, real quick, I'm gonna go over this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hopefully you can. Oh, sorry guys, I just shifted the camera. Uh, I bumped my desk. I got really tight quarters here where I'm at. But I want to go over to the stats on these kickers real quick. Hopefully you guys can see this. Um, Anyways, this is what I went over for as far as Brett Maher being a two-headed monster. The guy's actually, I think, a better punter than he is a field goal kicker. Here's his punting over the last 4 years. He's had 368 punts, 368 punts in the Canadian League, and he averaged 400 or excuse me, he averaged 45.8 yards, almost 46 yards a punt in the Canadian League. And as far as I know, their rules on punting and the field and all of that. The only thing I know is that their field is slightly wider, which gives quicker players a little bit more of an advantage. But 368 punts over his 4 years there. And if you look at Chris Jones, he's had 349 punts. and he averages 45 yards. So the stats are identical almost. He actually averages, about 2 yards, or about almost well, it's relatively the same, point 0.8 yards more. And Chris Jones he's pinned the opponent inside the 20 147 times. So that's about 40%, 42%. I did They don't show that stat on the Canadian Football League, but I did his stats over the preseason. He had 17 punts and he pinned 6 of them inside the 20, which is actually like 35%. And he had one that actually he pinned inside, but there was a penalty. They had to repunt it. So he would have had 7, which would have put him actually a little better. It's a small group of work to do the percentages on, but they don't keep that statistic that I could find in the Canadian Football League. So as far as a punter, I think he may be just as good, if not better, than Chris Jones as a punter. Now we're going to move to the field goal kicking, and I don't know if you guys can see this well or not. On my screen, it's showing up. I'm just going to go do the stats real quick. And as far as field goals, his average is relatively right there, the same with Dan Bailey, especially if you kind of look at it in the way Dan Bailey's last 2 years. If you take Dan Bailey's last 2 years and compare it to Brett Maher's 4 years in the Canadian Football League, actually Brett Maher has done better. As you guys know, because of the injuries, Dan Bailey kind of fell off a little bit. Now he was supposedly healthy this year, doing better, but then in practice and in the OTAs and camp, Brett Maher he outkicked Bailey, and he does have a much stronger leg. If you guys want to look on YouTube and look his videos up, that dude's got a strong leg. And there's one thing I really like about Dan Bailey that was different about other kickers is when he kicked that ball, it it stayed in a straight line. It was like a baseball. It flew straight, narrow. He got good rotation, north north to south rotation on the ball, and that rotation, that spin of the ball, that's what gets the ball flying in a straight line. These kickers that kick the ball too high, closer to the center, the ball doesn't get that rotation, and that's when your ball will. Crosby has that. He's a good kicker for the Packers, but you will see his ball, as you guys seen in the playoff game that we lost. It doesn't. It'll move east to west quite a bit, and I've been watching Mayer, and he has that ability as well to kick the ball in a straight line. It does not move. He's got 78% field goal percentage, and the thing is, his long kicks, over 50, he does really well. He's 6 of 11 for over 50 in the Canadian League. So those are things that you got to look at, and then you look at the price we got him. I think the Cowboys made a good decision. I loved Dan Bailey. I mean, man, he was automatic, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I hope it works out for us because the big thing is he has never kicked on a stage, like the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have a different stage. Let me go through the chat real quick. I know you guys. Yeah, I saw that. Hey, VZP, welcome to the show, brother. Thanks for coming in. I saw that Burt Reynolds passed away. Man, that's. I don't know the age of everybody out there. I know Stevie Mack, you're right at 50 because we talked about that one time. So you probably maybe followed Burt Reynolds quite a little bit, but that guy was an outstanding uh, guy to just his persona, man, on the field. One of my favorite movies that Burt Reynolds was in was the where he Hooper. Hooper. If you guys haven't seen Hooper, if you want a really cool, funny movie to watch Hooper. He plays a stuntman. Um, and you're in mid 30s, James. Hey, you probably don't know this movie. Then, James, check out the movie Hooper, and it's a Burt Reynolds movie. It was back when he was in his highlight days, and yeah, hey, it is a really good movie. Concerning the Zeke the Freak jersey, I got this from my buddy. He goes to the Philippines. That jersey, he brings them to me for free. They cost like $25. But uh, I also have a Demarcus Lawrence jersey coming, but it's not gonna say Demarcus Lawrence. It's gonna say War Daddy on the back. So I will have a Demarcus Lawrence jersey with the words right across the top. It'll say War Daddy. So yeah, that's gonna be tight. And like I said, I told you guys I got the Aaron Rodgers jersey coming that will say "Bad Man" on the back, and I will burn that one, bro. Oh, Stevie, I'm sorry. I was discussing that with who was somebody who's almost 50. The other guy from Tennessee. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry, man, but like I said, I always remember numbers. One of the guys in here that's been here a while is 50. So jerseys I can get. I got, as you guys, one of the videos. It's if you go back and look, it's Crunk's crib. I did like a MTV crib show just real quick and went through the house and I went through my jerseys, showed my Bo Jackson jersey, Pete Rose. Not a big Cowboy fan. The Longest Yard's a good one, yeah. But Hooper is hilarious, man. Really, really good movie. So I hope you guys aren't nervous about the kicker thing. D Will in the house, how you doing, bro? I think D Will was one of my first subscribers. Thank you for joining in, man. Um, but anyways, I hope you guys aren't nervous about the kicking situation. I think it's a good move by the Cowboys to get that money released. I think we can use that money next year. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I want a Hot Boys jersey, but I don't know how to do that. I mean, these are made straight up legit. As you guys know, I've got a Waterboy jersey that's identical. I mean, it's got Boucher on the back, everything. There's nowhere in the world you can find a Boucher jersey that I know of. So I would like to have a Hot Boys jersey. Maybe get all their numbers put on the front. I don't know, but we'll see. I was about to buy a Bailey's jersey right before. Yeah, yeah, that sucks, man. I'm nervous about it, but I'm not. If this guy can kick under the lights, that's the thing. In practice, he blew it away, dude. That they said, and he was automatic in practice. And he's been to camps. He goes to kicking camps regularly. He was like MVP of some of the camps he went to, and it had all NFL potential kickers and NFL current kickers there. He has a special psychologist he goes to up in, like, I think it was Boise. He's from the Boise, Idaho area, I believe. This is Brett Maher I'm talking about, and he has a psychologist he goes to that's for uh, like pulling out your confidence, and that's a big thing about kickers. As you guys know, on one of the earlier videos, I mentioned Jerry Jones, not Jerry Jones, excuse me, Jimmy Johnson had a kicker that came in, and he had missed a kick, and I want to find out who this is. I still haven't researched it, but he told Jimmy Johnson, hey, it's just my confidence is low right now. I got to get my confidence back. Jimmy Johnson wasn't gonna wait for that. He got a new kicker in, so. D Will, it is more than possible. D Will, okay, I missed a comment there, but anyways, yeah, I'm hoping. I think you're referring to. I think you're maybe referring to. Oh, can Dak be another black QB to win the Super Bowl? I think he can. I don't think Dak Prescott is an amazing quarterback right now. I think he's very good. I think he plays within his limits, for the most part. But he needs to stretch those limits. He needs to be able to throw the ball deep a little bit more. He needs to be able to push the defense. He needs to put fear in the defense, and I don't think he does that with his arm yet. You know what I mean? I really think that's the situation. Dak Prescott needs to put fear in the defense with his arm, not just his legs, not Ezekiel Elliott, but we have to have that potential where those safeties know, hey, Dak will burn your ass if you're not on your game, and I don't think we have that right now. Um, yeah, exactly, Crunk. I don't know if the comment was concerning Dak, and nothing against Dak, dude. He'll learn that. I think he's good enough. He's going to stay within He's going to stay within his game right now. You give him 2, 3 years from now, uh, he's going to be able to put fear in the defensive secondary. I just don't think he really does that a lot right now. How can Dak be backup about? How can Dak be a backup about when he is a starting QB? I didn't understand that one, Scott. How can Dak be a backup about when he's a starting QB? If you're concerned, I am concerned about our backups a little bit. Keep in mind how Troy Aikman, his first 3 years. Yeah, exactly, guys. Quarterback, you just don't come in and um, yeah, well, I like you quarterback. You just can't come in and just light the field up, you know. Carson Wentz had a good season last year, but for Dak to come in and only have 4 interceptions his rookie year, that's outstanding, man. And I know they had him, under reins. They said, hey, just go in, take care of the ball, hand it to Ezekiel Elliott. If it's look up for your first read, your second read. If it's not there, throw it away or hit your check down. And they didn't have him throwing the ball deep a lot. He actually threw the ball deep a lot his first year, or not a lot, but more his first year than his second year. Uh, I'm just concerned about the play calling, guys. That's what concerns me, and safety. I'm concerned about our yeah. Dak plays it safe, and that's what he was brought in as a rookie. He didn't think he was gonna you know play his rookie season, and when Troy Aikman went down, um, I know they pulled him aside and said, "Look, man, you're a rookie. You're a fourth round draft pick. We don't expect you to zing the ball down the field. Just take it easy. Keep it between the hashes." And that's what I needed to see them. These plays in the flats are what hurt us. That's what helped us lose the Seattle game. There's too much of these plays in the flats, and if you're not accurate in the flats, and that cornerback or that safety snatches the ball, that's a pick six. So when Romo went down, yeah, it gave Dak that opportunity, but they told him, hey, take it easy, roll in slow, learn the playbook, and he was not, forced to make a lot of big plays. They said if it ain't there, 3rd and 12, they ran the ball at times on 3rd and 12 when Dak was there his rookie year, especially early. Dak will never be as good as Tony Romo, no way. Uh, Man, that's debatable. If you look at Tony Romo's stats, seriously, Tony Romo, he has Hall of Fame stats. Now, the problem with Tony Romo is he had Tony Ono. He did have Bobby. I agree with you. He had some moments, but you guys got to realize he was put in a situation. He didn't have a team around him like Dak Prescott has. Never did he have a squad like I think we have now. The defensive line, the linebacker crew, the offensive line. Tony Romo never had that offensive line. If he would have had that, if he would have had 80% of what Dak Prescott has right now, I think Tony Romo, he just had too much on his shoulders, and he would force balls in windows. Brett Favre did it for a while, but they got a team around Brett Favre, and Brett Favre got him a Super Bowl. And that's it. Just didn't happen with Tony Romo. I think Tony Romo, he was like a notch under Brett Favre. That's where I put him, and I think he deserves a Pro Bowl. I mean, he deserves a to be a Hall of Fame quarterback with his numbers, because there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that don't have the numbers that Tony Romo has. Um, can come on, man. Tony had years to learn what he. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I'm talking about Dak Prescott's potential, though. You are right. Dak Prescott has the potential if he learns what Tony Romo learned. Yes, I think he will be better. I think he's going to have a much better win percentage, and part of that's because of the weapons he has. So I agree with Joseph Sandberg on that one. Uh, the potential, the ceiling for Dak Prescott is way up there. I really, really think we can win uh, three Super Bowls in this next 6 or 7 years. Our window is right now, and we have the money. They've played the. We've got the draft picks come in right. I think we can do it. I see Dak as a later round gym quarterback. Honestly, I'm reading James's comment right now. Had 2 years. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Man, we Dak. If we keep the tools around him, if we can keep this salary cap, it depends on what money he asks for. As you guys know, the linemen are signed pretty well. We've got those guys. We've got Connor Williams under his rookie contract. He'll be very cheap for over the next few years. We got to figure out what to do with Demarcus Lawrence. If we pay Demarcus Lawrence too much, or if he asks for too much, which I think he's going to, that might be a roster spot we have to look at moving to keep the salary cap down situation better. If Tony keeps killing it as a broadcaster, yeah, he'll be a Hall of Famer as a broadcaster. I can guarantee you that. You're right, and dude, he's an amazing, outstanding broadcaster. I saw Jason Witten on television earlier today, and I don't know if Jason Witten will last in that aspect of the game. We'll have to see. Maybe his personality will jump off the camera, but he really didn't seem like he had that type of personality to I I don't know. That's just my opinion, guys. But I love Jason Witten, but his opinion to me doesn't seem like it his my opinion is I don't think he's one of those commentator type guys. Hey, X Factor, what's up, brother? How you doing? Cowboy Crunk people call you out for Earl Thomas, yet some Cowboys fans think we should give up a first round for him. Yeah, I got that out as quick as I could. I saw the information, like was talking about earlier. They had Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless were talking about they the Cowboys offered a third round and Seattle wanted a second round. That was early in the morning and that was completely they did a whole show on that and they were completely wrong. We offered a second round and we offered that a few days before that. And I was aware of that situation. I don't know where they got that we offered a third round. We offered a second round. They still didn't go for it. The reason they didn't go for it, but they were willing to go for it in the draft. They wanted that player last year. So if we would have given them that player at the draft, they were willing to take a second round. But we offered the second round today, or this week. That means they don't get that player till next year. They're not getting that player now. Now, I would think if we offered a trade Connor Williams for Earl Thomas, they would take that because I think that's who they actually wanted in the draft. They wanted a lineman, and I think they wanted Connor Williams, which is who we got. If we would have traded them the second round, they probably would have taken Connor Williams, and we would have got Earl Thomas, and we would have even a worse situation on the line right now than we had before. So I'm good with us sticking with our second round, that 52nd pick that we took, uh, and taking Connor Williams. So, now they want more. They want more because they're going to have to wait a year to get it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a loan. If you pay somebody cash today, that's kind of like what it was. If you give them the trade today, you know, at the draft, the day of the draft, they wanted a second round pick. If we would have given them that, that's like cash in their hand. They get that draft pick now. But you give them a draft pick now, it's not till next year. It's kind of like a loan. We're taking a player from them today, but we're not paying them till next year. So that's why they're wanting a first round now. I don't think it's going to happen. And the other reason is because the Cowboys are really being stingy with their money right now, which I think is smart. Um, Cowboy Crunk, I think most Cowboys would offer a second and a third. Yeah, uh, if we could get him in here now, man, it really would help us. Uh, I think the Cowboys are being too stingy with their money. Not too stingy. We've got other players to sign in the next couple of years. Demarcus Lawrence, we got to figure out what to do with him. Zeke and Dak. Uh, we're going to have to pay these guys. We got cap room. We've got money coming. I know that, but it really depends on what Dak wants to sign for. Dak is the key. If Dak will sign a cowboy friendly contract, if Dak will sign a cowboy friendly contract that will allow us to keep some of these players, Aaron Rodgers 33 million is crazy. We can't give Dak anywhere near that, or I just think it's going to jeopardize other players. And and you can't feed everyone. To me, it's kind of like a family. If you really, really believe in the team, it's like a family. If you feed Dak too much, you don't have food for your brothers and sisters. Your brothers and sisters are Ezekiel Elliott, Demarcus Lawrence, your other players. And that's the way I look at it. Especially us being fans. you know, we're like, shit, we'd be happy with 2 mil a year, I'll play football. I'll play football for free. Definitely right that James Tony. About that James. Oh, okay, something James said. Tony was. Let me go back and read that. I want to catch that one real quick. Sorry, guys. Um, Definitely right about that. Where'd it go? Definitely right about that. James Tony was a huge part of our success in 2016. He was basically telling Dak everything. Yeah, and as you guys know, Mark Sanchez actually, if you go back and watch those games, Mark Sanchez was right there in Dak's pocket a lot. And Mark Sanchez is a smart guy. I know he had the butt fumble and all that, but the guy knows the game. So he had a lot of help his rookie year, and there was no film out on him and things like that. So I think Dak will have a return year. He'll do very good. Um, my thing is like that right now. These everyone's on Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo had 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in the 5 games he played. So if you multiply that times three, 5 times 3 is 15. So you add a game. You're looking at about 21 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. That's not an amazing year. That's Dak Prescott still had a better year last year than that. Now Garoppolo put up some numbers as far as yards that I don't think we'll see out of Dak for a while. But everybody's on the uh, everybody's on the Jimmy Garoppolo bandwagon, and I just don't think it's all that. I think Dak Prescott is better than Jimmy Garoppolo any day. Cowboy Crunk, any predictions for tonight? You know how I am. Yeah, I'm rooting for Atlanta Falcons as well. Uh, I wish I wish I wish the Eagles had picked up Chaz Green, and so we could see the Falcons get 8 sacks again, and six on Chaz Green. That'd be cool. But yeah, I'm predicting a tough game. These games in the beginning of the season really, really, I think some games here in the beginning of the season are where you make your footprint because no one's played a lot. The veterans haven't played a lot of snaps. Um, Ezekiel Elliott's not a veteran, but he hasn't played a lot of snaps. So a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, and I know I went off subject there for a second, but uh, the Atlanta Falcons have some young players, and the Philadelphia Eagles have some young players that didn't play a lot of snaps as well. So it's going to be real unorganized. As you guys know, a big thing in the early season is tackling. There hasn't been a lot of 100% physical, force-fed tackling, just people going 100%. So tackling is going to be real important tonight. You're probably going to see horrible tackling. So I have no clue who's going to win this game tonight. I hope Philly does. Um, but we'll see. I would. I'm not a gambler, so if I put money on a team, they always lose. That's part of the Indian in me, I think. But Jimmy G is good, but they way overpaid him. Yeah, it, especially with the with the scope of work he's done so far, he did not deserve what he got paid. Thoughts on Deshaun Watson? Man, Deshaun Watson. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I think he is an outstanding quarterback. I think they're going to have some film on him this year. I don't think he will play as well. I'm concerned about the injury situations as well as Carson Wentz. Now he had a serious injury, so I'm hoping the best for Deshaun Watson. I am from Houston. The only thing is I got to listen to my neighbor when Deshaun Watson plays well. He's got Deshaun Watson. If you ask him, he's better than Aaron Rodgers. Um, his coach did call him from Clemson. Call him, you just passed up on the Michael Jordan of football. So we'll see. Um, I hope him. I wish him well. The best thing is I always wish players not to have injuries. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers, man, if there's anybody in the world that I don't want to see win a game or don't want to see play well, it's Aaron Rodgers. But I never wish an injury on any NFL player. Uh, maybe a flu. Maybe they have excuse me, maybe he can have the flu or be a little sick or something when he plays us. But as far as an injury, uh, Deshaun Watson, amazing athlete. He's going to be good when he's healthy. When he's healthy, he's going to be good. So if he can keep his legs under him and keep his, keep his strength, keep his core solid and strong, he's going to be a good quarterback. So kind of good. But I just, man, my neighbor is, whew, he's a tough guy to listen to. Me and him argue all the time, and he really is like my best friend there in the neighborhood. So that's my homeboy. He's a Houston, Texas fan. He's a Houston fan. Period. No matter what it is. Yeah, Watson's real. I think he is. I hope he doesn't have. He reminds me a lot of Michael Vick, but I think he plays a little more with a little more confidence. Not confidence, but man, Michael Vick had confidence. More stability. He's a little more stable. He's not as quick, of course, or as fast as Michael Vick, but I think he makes a little bit better decisions. So he can he's going to be a good quarterback. Cowboy Crunk, I still want Cowboys to play Packers and Rodgers in the playoffs again. Hey, I do too. I told you guys I'm getting that jersey. I will have the bad man jersey. It's going to be tough to thing, but I will when I get that jersey. Uh, I'm gonna save it. I probably won't get it till the guy's leaving on vacation tomorrow. I'll have the Aaron Rodgers bad man jersey. Probably I would say in about a month from now. So if I can get that jersey, I'll wait to see how the playoff things are going. If we're going to make the playoffs, I'll wait till that playoff game, and uh, and we'll burn that jersey. And not to wish anything bad on him. It's just for like I said, game purposes. That's why I said they should have hired Mark Sanchez as. I think Mark Sanchez would have been an excellent quarterback coach. Very, yeah. I'd never even thought of that, man. Uh, VZP, really the guy he poured everything into Dak Prescott. He spent a lot of time with him. I saw Romo standing alone on the sidelines, grinning, but yeah, yeah, he that was hurting him, man. You guys know. The thing is with the Tony Romo situation. Um, Man, I felt so bad for the guy. As soon as we got a team and put a solid team around Tony Romo, he gets hurt, and then Dak Prescott comes in and benefits from it. I mean, and he did. I'm not saying anything bad about Dak Prescott, but he benefited from having that solid team. I really would have loved to have seen what Tony Romo could have done with because I can tell you I think the Cowboys even knew Tony Romo was a better quarterback than Dak Prescott at that time, 100%. But you've got to roll with who's going to be healthy. How long is Tony Romo gonna stay healthy? Could he have back issues, the collarbone? And that was the only thing. I think they saw that Dak Prescott 100% healthy every week is better than Tony Romo, and not better. It's just when is he going to go down? We might as well make the change now because you pretty much knew Tony Romo couldn't last a season, and that's horrible to say, but that's just my thought on it. I think Tony Romo was a much better quarterback than Dak Prescott at the time they made the change, but they couldn't trust him staying on the field, and instead of and the offense being completely different with Tony Romo out there than Dak Prescott, I think they figured let's go ahead and make the change now. Let's change the offense, make it Dak friendly, like they were saying now. But I mean, they basically did that a couple years ago, or were trying to do that transition. So let's see where we at. That's why I said they had Dak to fall. They had Dak to fail because they took all his weapons. Dez, Witt, Dan. Yeah, man. The thing with Dez is I just think him and Witten as well. They're being veteran guys. If they said anything in the huddle, it's like it was expected Dak to listen to them. And Dez especially, he was vocal in the huddle. He's vocal in the field, and I think they just wanted to take that away, and they want control of the offense, and they can it's kind of like we have some puppets out there right now. I hate to say that, but as you know, you guys know, Jason Garrett is completely going to do whatever um, Stephen Jones says. He's going to follow along with that. He's not going to stand up to him and probably select players and tell them, "Hey, I want this guy on the field." Um, you know, my worst fear, like I said, for this season is the play calling. They've got to change that, and I know they're trying to be safe. They're trying to be, yeah, kick off in 1 hour. Let's go, guys. I'm going to shut down for a little while because I do need to grab something to eat. Not right now, but I'll shut down in a few minutes. I want to close the show out right and say thank you guys again for joining in and talking. It's just so fun to talk Cowboys. Hey Herb, what's up, brother? How you doing? That's my man right there, Herb from Tennessee. How's everything across the pond, Crunk? It's all right. It's going all right over here. I got some rest. I was telling him early. Sorry, I've been off the map for a while. I've been like I didn't even open my YouTube in about 24 hours, but I was off the map because I just traveled the whole damn map to get here, and I needed some rest. I had to catch up on some work. My work doesn't stop when I'm traveling, so I had to check on the inventories around some different places here in Afghanistan. I got that done. Did some paperwork, did some accounting. Now I'm back on the numbers for the Cowboys. And really, it was just turning the camera on was the toughest part. Now I got it on, and I'm rolling again. I feel good. But anyways, tonight's game, cannot wait to see it. Again, we play Philly week 9 and week 13, so we'll get a little preview. We play Atlanta week 10. We'll get a little preview on Atlanta. As you guys know, by then things will change. We'll have Travis Frederick back pretty much for sure by those games, I hope. Looney, we'll get a chance to see how he plays there with Connor Williams playing on his left side. We've got to keep Tyron Smith healthy, man. That's really, really important. Yeah, go Falcons for sure. I've seen that like 20 times on the page. So I agree with you, Herb. Go Falcons. We may need some help with Atlanta this year. I really predict. I hope I'm right. I'm really predicting that I think Philly will fall off this year. And I don't think very many people are predicting that. And I say that because if you check the situation there on ESPN, they think Philly's going to be even better this year. A few of the commentators say that, but I just don't see them being able to repeat at 13-3. As you guys know, a Super Bowl team, when they come into your house or when you go to their house, you really focus on that game all year. Cowboy Crunk, Tony Romo could have been healthier if he had a better offensive line. Hey, hey, you got that from me. Hey, I got a new thing I'm doing. X Factor, you're a good dude, man. I love what you got to say, and I got to give you something. You win the chat talking the most shit award for today's chat. So this is the biggest roll of toilet paper. This is a big ass roll of Afghan toilet paper. You just won the talking shit award, brother, because that is true. Tony Romo would have been a much healthier quarterback if he had protection for those damn 6, 7 years that he was getting his ass drug and drilled into the dirt. So Cowboy X Factor, you the number one shit talking toilet paper rolling uh, guy to that's the strongest statement on the board today. Very very true. And if he would have had that protection, we wouldn't be sitting here with 5 Super Bowl rings. We would have more than that. So take that in a good way, brother, not a bad way. What I'm saying is we're gonna do that. I'm gonna give that award to everyone. I know that's a little ghetto, but um, but I'm gonna give that award out every show, and I'll try to give it. There'll be a positive and a negative, but yours was the positive, bro. That is definitely a true statement. Tony Romo would have been a much healthier quarterback if he had a uh, if he had an offensive line. You know what I'm saying? What is special about that award is so cool, but new to me. Also, thanks and congrats. Yeah, I know it's a crazy award. I apologize. If you guys don't like it, tell me to take it down. But you got the shit talker award. That was good. Very very true statement. It would have been nice to see Tony Romo, play healthy, a lot more healthier than he was, playing with slip disc and playing with severely sprained ankles and stuff like that. Tony Romo was a honest to God beast, bro. A tough guy. Tony Romo played a game with a punctured lung. Yes, I remember that game. Jason Witten as well. Jason Witten played. I got a video I did real early back. If you guys want to look back, look up Cowboy Crunk and look up Jason Witten. I did a video on kind of like a little documentary on Jason Witten, and it was really, really, man, outstanding. He played a game with a broken jaw, guys. Early in his career, played a game with a broken jaw. Not one game. He continued to play games. Probably worst game was probably the second or third game later. I've never had a broken jaw. I've had a broken foot a few times, but man, you're talking, that's crazy. I like the award. Let's be honest, Dak Prescott saved Tony Romo contract, but yeah, people wonder about Romo and Zeke. Yeah, I agree, guys. I love Dak Prescott. I just would have liked to have seen Tony Romo get to play another year or two, and maybe put one up there, get win us a ring and then retire. It's tough. The interview today I saw with Jason Witten. It was Jason Witten and Stephen A. Smith. Man, Stephen A. Smith was, the guy has no couth. He'll say whatever the hell he wants. He hates the Cowboys, and he really took advantage. He took advantage of having Jason Witten in front of him and said some things I didn't like, man. You hadn't won a game in 22 years, and you got two playoff wins, and you hadn't won a Super Bowl, and you can't win to the playoffs, and you can't get Jason Garrett this, and how did you play under Jason Garrett, and you're a Hall of Famer, Jason Witten, but I've never seen anything like this, and the Cowboy fans, they could go 3-13, and 15 minutes after the season is over on a Sunday night, they just went 3-13. But the Cowboy fans are saying they're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Man, he was very disrespectful to Jason Witten, and I can't stand that dude. And I hope when I get that bad man jersey, because he's the one that gave him that damn name, and I burn that Aaron Rodgers jersey, I hope that gets to Stephen A. Smith, because that dude is the most annoying person on the damn planet. To me, the most annoying person on the damn planet. More annoying than my ex-wife. And that's pretty damn bad. But actually, I've kind of lost that. Witten lost his helmet. Yeah, that was a bad play. That was amazing. How did Witten play through the knee sprain? Yeah, that dude. Both of those guys, very very tough. Um, yeah, he's just about ratings. That's all it is. He's talking garbage because, you know, there's 32 teams out there, and by far we have the best fan base. We have the largest fan base. Uh, Shout out to El Paso, Texas, from Juan Mendez. What's up, brother? Golden Heart City in the house. Thanks you guys for joining the show. Uh, but yes, both of those guys, really, really, really tough guys. I just hated to see. If you guys can probably look it up on YouTube now. Man, he was really disrespectful to Jason Witten. I did not like seeing that. Anyway, Stephen A. Smith is a Steelers fan. He should worry about Levon Bell. Yeah, we'll see. I didn't know he was a Steelers fan. Actually, I've never seen him. I know he seems like a Giants fan to me. Just but the way he jumps in on the Giants all the time, and Eli Manning. But I know, I don't know. I don't pay attention to the dude really. I try not to watch it. That's why I like YouTube, guys. That's why I've been watching Mark Holmes for a while. That's why I've been watching these other guys that do the YouTube channel. I like to talk about the Cowboys realistically. I don't like to talk about the Cowboys, negative things, and oh, the Cowboys are going to be horrible this year. I really don't think there's a way the Cowboys are going to be horrible this year. We've got a really good, solid offensive line. We've got a base. Uh, we got a base behind, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. I think we've got a very very strong defensive line. We've got a good linebacker core, and we've got a good group of secondary guys. If they can stay healthy, we're so thin in the secondary. I also heard. Does anyone know on Chidobe Awuzie? They said he was day to day, or he was had something wrong with his back, I believe, something like that. I just saw that on the scroll across the bottom earlier. You guys watching my military commercials back here? The commercials here are ridiculous, uh, pretty much annoying at times. But I heard Chidobe Awuzie had something wrong. He's in. Okay. I knew he was supposed to play, but they said he had some issues with his back or something. I only watched first take after Cowboys win to see state. Yeah, that's true. Joseph Sandberg. That's a good one as well. I love seeing Stephen A. Smith have to retract his statements. The best thing was having to see him wear, I think it was the Romo jersey that day when he said he would wear a Cowboys jersey or whatever. Stephen A. Smith always been uh, a clown. Yeah, yeah. I can't watch the guy at all. Yeah, I think those shows are annoying. Exactly, Crunk. Yeah, they feed to the ratings too much. They will jump behind quarterbacks. They the to me it's just ridiculous. Most of them now, they're nothing about arguing. They'll have two guys arguing about something, and they actually agree. A lot of times, I can tell you, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless agree on things, but if you look at the show, they never agree, and that's what makes it interesting, I guess. If you agree on things, if you always agree on things, then people are like, "Oh, this show's boring." They just, they talk about the things people like to see arguing. I guess maybe they should have um, what's her name that Judge Judy. Maybe they should have Judge Judy there to make a decision on the end or something. I think that might make it better. But yeah, they're feeding to they're feeding to the public, and they say actually a lot of things that I don't feel are true. Stephen A. Smith saying that the Cowboys are garbage, and their fans are garbage, and Jerry Jones is garbage. Jerry Jones. People can say Jerry Jones is garbage. That dude has done more for the NFL. And now he has hurt the Cowboys at times, and a lot of owners have hurt their teams. But Stephen A. Stevens Stephen Jones is doing a very good job, by the way. Jerry Jones, he has hurt the Cowboys, but he's done more for football and he's done more for the Cowboys than any other owner has done. Now they might not have won at times, and that's what he needs to do. They need to let Stephen Jones cover the marketing with his daughter is in charge of marketing for the Cowboys. Let let Stephen Jones run the team. Let Jerry Jones and his daughter, I don't know his daughter's name, run the marketing, do the sales, build these crazy stadiums, build the star, sell all these things, make the Cowboys the number one team in the world financially, but let Jerry Jones and the core of guys we got right now, and if Jason Garrett don't make it through this season, he don't make it through this season. But anyways, that's what I believe in this whole situation. Um, I'm gonna read through these real quick, Steven, and I'm gonna jump off. Skip used to be a good back, and they sent on a Mike and Mike, but oh yeah, it used to be a good show. I liked Mike and Mike back in the day as well. Um, yeah, nobody's perfect, and Jerry Jones is a leader of the NFL among the owners and organizations. Yeah, he's this thing about going to 18 game season. We'll talk about that later, maybe when the game is on, because I know we'll be watching the game, but we can talk about some other things. I really think this 18 game season is a good idea. There's some situations about it I don't like. I think they should have 18 games, but the players should only play 16. Move the roster to 60 personnel, and but everyone has to take 2 weeks off. Like you can't dress 2 weeks. So I don't see, you can't have a player dress 18 games. I just think that's ridiculous. Even if you throw an extra bye or two buys in there, and spread the game out to 20, like what 21 weeks with three buys, I just can't see guys playing 18 games. That's a long season. Hey, what's up, Cowboys family? Got in here a little late. I'm about to jump off, close the show. I was going over the kicker thing. I know Cowboy family fiance is a huge Bailey's fan. Dan, not Bailey's the drink, but Dan Bailey. I just did a short take on that real quick. It starts around the 6 minute of the video. If you guys want to check that out, go back and check it out. But I'm happy with this move. I hope. Okay, that's good. She understands the situation, bro. Hey, that guy's an outstanding punter. He's actually a better punter than he is a field goal kicker. Go through, look at his stats. Pull Brett Maher's, Dan Bailey, and Chris Jones' stats up. He has, I mean, and I'm not talking over a short period. He has just as many punts in the CFL as Chris Jones does in the NFL, and he actually has a little bit longer of a punt percentage or yards per attempt. And if you look, he was punting for us all season pretty much. He had 17 punts during the season, and he had 6 pins inside the 20. So the dude's an amazing punter. So if we have any issues with Chris Jones being injured, we can slide him in and he can punt as well. And it could get to the situation where we go to one player. He could be our punter and kicker for next year. So we'll see how that goes. Uh, I know that's a lot for one player. That's a lot of responsibility to put on one guy. Have him your punter and your field goal kicker. Because if he goes down, now you're in serious trouble. But you could put a backup kicker on the practice squad, and cover it that way. So I don't know. We'll see. See you all then. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off right now. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm gonna go back live again when the game starts, and I will have the game on the TV screen. I'm monitoring my emails to make sure I don't have a problem with them. But you get 3 hits. Once you get 3 hits, I think they turn your channel off. So I'm not worried about that right now. I don't have any hits so far. So, anyways, I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna jump off. Thanks, Steve, Cowboy X Factor, Cowboys family. Hope your show goes well later. I know you'll probably be live as well during the game. Just wanted to say my email. I'll put my email on my profile. I will go in and put my email on my APO. Like I said, I don't live on a military base, so I can't go out and check the mail all the time. But I do have a mailbox, APO. A lot of people have been asking for my APO. So, and I can get you guys. We'll organize this later. I'll have them. Can get them brought here. I can get jerseys made for you guys. If you want a special jersey made, like I said, I'm getting my Demarcus Lawrence with it'll say War Daddy on the back. It'll be number 90. It'll say War Daddy. I got the freak. Once Dak Prescott has a nickname, I will maybe come out with a Dak Prescott jersey, and I can get those possibly made for you guys. We'll see. I got to get a hold of my contact in the Philippines who makes all my jerseys for me. But anyways, I'm gonna go grab me some fried chicken and jump in on the show when the game starts in about 40 minutes. All right, guys. Thank you. Take care, and see you guys when the game starts. Let's go, Atlanta! Kick that ass, baby.